back to Lil Clay Clay Vacuums Fans, Machines, and Reviews. So today, we have Dyson Ball Multi-Floor 2. This isn't the first time this vacuum has been in my house, because I've looked at this vacuum I've looked at this vacuum for some people at my church before, but it's back once again and seems to have a problem. I think I might have a bit of a diagnosis already because it sounds kind of similar from what my deep cleaner described, because she deep cleans their house as well. She says that she plugged it in and then it shut off, and when it turned back on, as you can probably hear, I'll do it again. There is a click, so I could be wrong, but it could be something else with the switch. The reason I assume it's the switch is because I have a similar problem with my Dyson DC-14 all-floors. The switch had gone out on it, so the vacuum would not stay on, and then after hitting the button a few times, now my Dyson DC-14 all-floors will not turn off until you unplug it. But the good news is, if that is the case for this vacuum cleaner, then it would actually be a very cheap fix. But first I'm gonna kind of give it a whirl. I'm gonna vacuum this vacuum, mainly spot vacuum around the living room, and then maybe vacuum the kitchen, because I did just vacuum last week. And then actually, so if you saw my last video with these two Kenmore canister vacuums, you probably know already that I did just vacuum the rug with the power head on this one. I do have kind of an update in case anyone is curious, is if I was able to figure out how to get the cord back on there. I think it's actually missing the cord on this power head. So I'm gonna have to find a cord for it, but I'm not too worried about it. I have a couple other vacuums I want to fix first, and like I said, I can still vacuum without the power head. I can just use this right here, and then. But anyway, so back to the vacuum. So what we're gonna do is, first of all, I'm gonna do what I always do anytime I get a vacuum to fix. I'm gonna give it a whirl, and if it turns on, because the problem was, they said that it shut off and would not turn on. And if it turns on, I'm gonna vacuum it around the house. Like I said, do a little spot vacuum in, maybe vacuum the kitchen while I'm at it, we'll see, and if not, and then we'll go from there. If it shuts off, or if I hear maybe a strange sound, like it could be, one of the main things could be from a clog or the filters. It's kind of funny because the last time I fixed this vacuum for them, they actually, she said the brush roll wouldn't turn on, and then I fixed it and gave it a whirl, and I told her it worked just fine. She ended up getting another vacuum, but she just, her daughter got it for her, but I think, so I almost got to keep this vacuum. I think at first she was just going to have the vacuum that her daughter gave her, but then when she found out that the vacuum was working just fine, she asked me if she could have it back, and I told her sure, because technically this vacuum wasn't given to me to keep, it was to fix. And you know, this isn't the first time that's happened with a vacuum I've actually had one vacuum. You know, I've had a few vacuums that I'll end up selling after I add to my collection, or I had one Eureka Airspeed Gold that the person who gave it to me wanted me to sell it for my Guatemala trip. But anyway, but yeah, I wonder if this one's gonna end up not cutting off just like the brush roll ended up working. It'd be funny if it does, but anyway, let's go ahead and turn it on. So let's see. Uh-oh. So I just noticed something. Yep. We got us the clog. So that's the problem. As you could, I don't know if you could see or not, but wait. Actually, let me see. I can't remember if it's the same thing. some stuff. Just going around, and it sounds like we got a clog, and it sounds like it's not. It's only in the top part. I'm just trying to vacuum up some stuff so I can see if it's sucking the stuff up or not. So you can see if it picked any of it up. Let's see, did it? This wasn't really. Yeah, I hear it. Yeah, I can hear it. Oh, some of it spilled out. Oh well. So that tells me that there was a clog somewhere in the vacuum. Sorry if I didn't show you, but as you can see, there is dirt in there that it did pick up. I see the little. Is that rubber band? Dang, it tore the rubber band up. Anyway, so let me go ahead and unplug this machine, and then. As you can see, as you could probably tell, when I put the vacuum down in the down position, that was when the clog went away. But when I put it in the upright position, that was when the air vent or whatever they want to call it, the suction control or whatever they want to call it, air brake or whatever, opened in the vacuum. So that shows that there was a clog deep in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can unclog it. Hopefully I can, and we'll see. All right, so as you can see here, we got us a bit of a clog, and that was what was causing the air brake to activate. So I'm gonna real quick turn it on again and make sure there's no other clog in the vacuum. So that shows us that there's no other clog in the vacuum. So I'm gonna real quick remove this, and once it is, I'll give it kind of a thorough test, which is always anytime I test one of my vacuums, I kind of do a full house vacuum. Which makes me feel bad because I really wanted to use my Dyson DC-25 vacuum, which I probably will. I think I'll do kind of a full house vacuuming, living room, bedroom, and kitchen. Minus my spare room in my office because I need to move some stuff around the office. I don't know if I'll have time because I've got some other things to do around the house. But anyway, so yep. Okay, so it's all fixed. I had a bit of a moment, but I managed to, with the help of a butter knife, and also with a little trick I learned where if you turn the vacuum on, it can kind of pull the clog up to where you can reach it. I was able to, and of course the classic, put the hose in your mouth and then blow through it, and it got the paper towel out, or napkin, whatever it was. So now I'm going to give it a real quick thorough testing, just a quick full vac, as I call it, whenever I vacuum around my house, minus my spare room in my office. I'm gonna run it around my living area, my kitchen, and my bedroom to make sure everything is in tip-top shape. And then hopefully, and if everything goes well, then yeah, I'll be giving this back to its owners whenever they can come and get it. Care of my cat. That, my friend, is the power of a Dyson. getting through the cracks. Oh yeah. Oh. Come on now. Give up on me now. Come on. That's fine. Let me play that game. Always got a stubborn one. See how I get these little stocks here. Turn that off so that way I don't overheat the motor. You can hear another, in case you're curious, no, that's not another vacuum, it's just a video I'm playing in the background of a vacuum that is also a Dyson. Right. Pressure on this thing is very aggressive, and as you can see, this thing is powerful. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this thing is absolutely. There we go. Little Dyson. There we go. Got a piece of cat hair. Missed a few spots. Come on now. Don't do that. Feels that it was just because the pressure actually makes up the vent. This thing is still pretty powerful. furniture now, or just this couch. I'm not worried about the other couch. But yeah, my brothers were spending the night, so there's a bit of stuff on it. So I'll let them eat in here and watch TV.
That gas at the bottom will get caught on those little thin flaps. They're called baffles. Little plastic caps sticking up. It's getting caught on the outside of them.
Looks like it's missing a piece. Who cares?
But I caught it, and just it's something you can kind of work with it a little bit, and its little quirks and problems. Then you'll get consistent, excellent performance. Okay, yeah, thanks again.
Now, most Dysons were designed for low power carpets and maybe medium power as well. However, with the DC-17, this was the first Dyson that actually cleaned deep power carpets properly. The DC-17 is far superior in many ways. The DC-17 featured a newly
So now I'm gonna go into the living room. Still got missed a couple spots, but who cares? Sometimes I'll go over it, sometimes I won't, because I'm pretty much, I love vacuums, as if I literally don't have time to vacuum.
To then remove the one. The handle bit wasn't very comfortable. The U-shape, you can see.
While we're on the subject, so I'm gonna go now to the kitchen, and then I'm gonna go.
And turn the diagram state, so you hold it down, and then push the wire all the way back in, like so. With the DC-17, it's a far more user-friendly design. All you do with this is just lift the wire all the way up, and it releases like that. The handle grip is actually wrapped.
Alright, so normally I would sit the camera over there, since I don't really need to move the camera around, since I don't need to move the camera or anything until I get to the laundry room. But I thought I'd do a little when I vacuum in here, but I thought I'd do a little POV shot instead, because as you can see, there's a few pieces of maybe some dirt on the floor. Some of it I went ahead and picked up because it was stuff that would either the vacuum wouldn't be able to pick up with a brush roll or would clog it. So anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and see. Even going through the crack. Missed a little spot there on the other side. Sometimes if I see a spot that I missed, I'll be like, yeah, who cares? Because like I said, I vacuumed several times during the week. it'll pick that up. Well, it did. Oh man. That's what it means. Maybe because it's supposed to go around. Oh, there you go. We got it. Some people start asking, I'm not going to pick up a brush bar and try to make it suck it up because one, the vacuum is not mine, and even if it wasn't, I could tear the brush bar up. No problem isn't always a bad thing. Some stuff that snow plows that through the period of time is something you can't pick up or can't suck up or something like that. Alright, so now let's do living room, my bedroom. It's just a vacuum. You should be used to vacuum. Oh no! That was actually really cool. I almost thought she was gonna jump over the come on. She's gonna jump over the nightstand. almost got tried to suck up my fridge there. Alright, so this is how much was in the bin, or how much it picked up. I thought I'd show you guys just for the heck of it, even though this is really just to test it to make sure everything on it is good. But anyway, so now we're gonna, but yeah, as you can see, it easily just goes right back on there. Come on now. Still tricky to do one-handed. Come on now. There we go. Yeah, this is really easy. These third generation Dyson balls are a lot easier to maintain if you need to do something other than the dirt bin, or need a lot better than the second gen and the original Dyson ball. I mean, I don't know much about the original Dyson ball, the DC-15, but I assume because the second gen is basically like a 2.0 version of the DC-15 Dyson ball. But anyway, these third gen Dyson balls are actually a lot easier to take apart because I had a Dyson ball that was this generation, and I think it was clogged or something, and I was able to just get it apart real easily and fix it. Anyway, let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and empty this right here and go ahead and put it back in my kitchen so I'll know to grab it whenever they're ready to come and retrieve it or have me give it to them. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye guys.